And the first results are coming in, according to the Associated Press. On the Republican side, 3% of the caucuses reporting Ted Cruz with a narrow lead, 32.3% to Donald Trump's 31.1%, Marco Rubio at 14.6%, Ben Carson at 9.2%, Rand Paul at 4.3%, and Jeb Bush at 2.3%. Alongside Miranda Kahn here on the anchor desk, let's welcome back from Newsmax, New York, our good friend Steve Malzberg. Steve, Brother John Gizzi has really put that hat on and gone out to scrounge up some of the numbers for us. Your take on these early numbers, is it too early to spot a trend here?
Well, I've been watching from 1% to 2%, and now we're at 4%, and it's kind of gone back and forth at 2% from another source, not AP. It was 35-31 Trump, with Rubio at 14. So it appears if this trend is consistent, it's going to be a nail biter right down to the wire, obviously, between Trump and Cruz and Rubio. If he could, he looks like he'll finish a strong third if this continues, and that would be a very interesting story. I agree with John. I think he declares victory and walks away. But remember, we didn't know for weeks last time around out of Iowa. It was weeks before they declared. I think it was the night of CPAC in Washington, D.C., which is in March, if I'm not mistaken, that they declared Rick Santorum the winner of Iowa. So that's how close it was. So maybe we're headed in that direction.
Well, we'll see about that. One certainty is I'm joined here by Miranda Kahn. You spent time in Iowa reporting on television, living in Bettendorf. The folks there really take politics seriously.
Yes, they do. It's actually a rule at some family dinners not to talk about politics. I mean,
not even in caucus time?
That's different. Caucus time is different. In fact, my husband has a lot of friends. He lived in Illinois. Has a lot of friends that are actually going to these rallies and going to caucus, actually. So it is. Everyone's really into it. And I notice it's not just older people, which we keep seeing older people go out to vote. Younger people are into it too. Now, whether or not they'll actually go will be different, but yeah, they're into it.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, at least at the one Democrat caucus tonight, looks like a lot of young folks were there and they weren't really worried about the secret ballot. Steve Malzberg, let me just ask you this. When the situation develops, you talked about the expectations game and Rubio. Third place for him in your mind equates with first place in terms of meeting expectations. 30 seconds.
For him, absolutely. I mean, when I said he'll declare victory, it'll be a great night for him, and especially if he could, get in the high teens, I think it gives him strength headed into North Carolina. But let me be clear: if Cruz doesn't win, he's done. And if Trump does win, there's no stopping Trump. I really believe that, because Rubio is not going to win North Carolina. I'm sorry, New Hampshire. And Rubio is not going to win South Carolina. Trump is, and then he'll be on his steamroll. But Rubio could make some noise and cause some trouble and establish himself as the establishment candidate.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Steve Malzberg at Newsmax, New York. Miranda Kahn here on the anchor desk. Thanks very much. Please stay with us, because we're going to be back at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific for more results, indeed results throughout the night, from Unfiltered, Hardline, and then us again at 11 p.m. So for those you see and those you don't, stay with us and stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.